Hi again, Greg Bell of the News Tribune here at Century Link Field in Seattle. The Seahawks finally won a game. Third game of the season, home opener, becomes a victory, 24-13 over Dallas. How did it happen? Why did it happen? First of all, they ran the ball. Finally, Chris Carson, the lead running back, actually got the ball like a lead running back should. Not only that, 32 carries, 103 yards. The first time in 3 years the Seahawks running back had carried it 30 times. Plus, first time in 2 years, someone got 100 yards in the Seahawks backfield. Both of those were Thomas Rawls. It set the tone early in the game and told Dallas's pass rush, you gotta play honestly. Something that Chicago's and Denver's defenses didn't have to do the first 2 games. You saw the Cowboys swarming Russell Wilson at the start of the game. They're blitzing a lot more this year, and they were getting to Wilson early in the game. But as the game wore on and the Seahawks kept running the ball at him, that pass rush slowed down. Wilson ended up getting sacked only twice. I say only because he was sacked 12 times in 2 games, the most in the league coming into today. But the running game just controlled the entire game. It controlled field position. It controlled how the defense was playing. It was easier for the Seahawks to both run and pass block because the defense for the Cowboys was not nearly as aggressive. It just felt like the Seahawks have been trying to feel for almost 3 years since Marshawn Lynch left at the end of the 2015 season. Earl Thomas stole the show, obviously. The drama from the last couple days, not practicing, skipping practices. He spoke after. He said that he thinks the Seahawks will fine him. He expects a slip in his locker, is how he put it. Asked what his message was to fans who say maybe he should honor his $40 million contract he's in the final year of and not only play but practice. He said, obviously I've made this situation and I'm going to do, quote, what I want to do. Pete Carroll, I asked him about that and said, first of all, I asked Pete Carroll why wasn't Thomas at practice on Wednesday and on Friday. He didn't answer that. He said that he had nothing to say. He perhaps will tell me later this week, tell us later this week why. Carroll said he hasn't even talked to Thomas since he missed practice Wednesday and Friday. I also asked Pete Carroll, is this the way it's going to be? Because it certainly seems like it. The Seahawks will take shenanigans, unhappiness, skipping practice between Monday and Saturday if he's going to perform like this on Sunday. 2 interceptions, including the interception that kept the Cowboys, stopped the Cowboys' final real chance to rally in the 4th quarter when they got to the red zone. And I asked Carroll, is this just the way it's going to be? And Carroll didn't answer that either. He said that, I do know this, that Thomas was fully engaged today. He was in every defensive huddle on the sidelines talking strategy, supporting teammates, and I saw that. I saw him one of the first onto the field to congratulate rookie Shaquem Griffin for a thudding hit on Tavon Austin and a punt return in the second half by the Cowboys. I saw Thomas on the sidelines hugging teammates, hugging coaches, really in rapport with defensive teammates, and especially Bradley McDougald, who, by the way, had another outstanding game at strong safety as Cam Chancellor's replacement. Point is, Thomas didn't just dog it. When the game became real, he performed like the all-pro he is. He knows these games are the auditions for him to show that if he can't get a contract extension that doesn't seem like it's coming from the Seahawks, and if he can't get this trade out of Seattle that doesn't seem like it's coming, because no team's ponying up the demands the Seahawks have for him, then he better make use of these games because it's his chance to show the rest of the league they should pay him top dollar in free agency in March. I still think that's where this is headed. Even with Thomas saying it before the game, Cowboys coaches came up to him. Thomas said maybe it was a psychological ploy, but came up to him saying, are you ready for the trade tomorrow? That had some people buzzing after the game and his comments as well. I think this is the way this is going to be. I think Thomas is going to finish out this season. The trade deadline is going to come and go October 30th with no deal to the Seahawks' liking, nor should the Seahawks settle for anything less for a future Hall of Famer. Thomas putting his anger and ratcheting up his anger with things like blowing off practices and then performing on Sundays to try to earn a big paycheck in free agency in March. The Seahawks offense hope it's like this running game and controlling the game like it was today. It's something they're going to set out to do next week in Arizona. Other notes, Bobby Wagner came back today and was brilliant, as he usually was. He was chasing down players from side to side. He chased down Ezekiel Elliott a couple times in the backfield to stop third downs. Looked like his groin had never hurt. He said, Wagner, after the game, the groin injury that cost him the start at Chicago 6 days earlier, he said, feels good. He's a little sore, but he feels good. Seahawks are missing 2 starters on the offensive line. Ethan Posick didn't play at left guard. Justin Britt's shoulder kept him out at center, so Joey Hunt was the center. The left guard was J.R. Sweezy, who had played right guard previously, and DJ Fluker made his debut at right guard. I thought Fluker's physicality showed up right away, blowing Cowboys off the ball. The one thing he's been able to do in an NFL career is be a road grader, run blocker. Not so good in the pass protection, but he showed today why he's here in Seattle, to run, block, and have Carson run behind him. 32 carries and 103 yards later, the Seahawks have their first win of the season. My coverage is online right now at thenewstribune.com. Follow my coverage also on Twitter at GBellSeattle. As always, thanks for watching.